Let's talk about properties. In Kotlin, a variable is not a field, but a property. What I mean by that is, a property is a variable that has accessors, which are a get function and a set function. This is showing how to declare a property. There are property name, type, and initializer. Since declaring a property like this in Kotlin, the property already has the set, get functions. You don't need to add them by yourself. So it looks like you just assign or obtain a value directly, but actually you use the getter and the setter to do so. Let's test it out. Here we have two variables. One is a string type of var variable and the value is hello. The other is a int type of val variable and the value is 10. In the main function, we print out the variables and change the name variable's value and print them again. If we run it, as you expected, we got the printout data down here. It looks like we set the variables and print them out directly. But technically, when you declare this variable, actually we declare the setter and the getter. It's the same as we declare these getter and setter here. Therefore, when we printed them out, we actually called the getter function. And when we changed the value, we actually called the set function. This field is a keyword that represents the property. So the get function obtains the property's value, and the set function assigns the property's value. This int variable is the same, except because it's the val variable, it doesn't have the set function. So it's exactly the same as we declare the getter only. And if we try to add the setter, we'll get an error. So this is how the property works. Next, let's talk about custom accessors. Properties have the default getter and setter accessors. But if we need, we can define custom accessors. There are some rules to follow. In getSet functions, we should use the field keyword to represent the property. We already saw that in the test code earlier. var variables can have getSet both functions, but because val variable is a read-only variable, it can have only get function. And if a val variable has a custom get function, we don't need to initialize the value. On the other hand, even though a var variable has a custom get function, we should initialize the value. Let's test it out. Let's add another var variable. Let's say the name is age and it's an int type and initial value is 0. So if we need, we can define a custom set function. Let's say if the argument value is less than 0, which doesn't make sense as age. The property value is set by 0. Otherwise, it's set by the pass value. Like this, we can define a custom set function. Let's add another variable, but make it nullable. And let's define the get function that returns the property value by uppercase. Oh, let's change this variable's name because we have the name already. Like this, we can define custom getSet functions. This is it for properties.